Well, here we are. It's Winterize the Cabin weekend. Middle of October, temperatures are getting in the 30s, which would be low single digit Celsius. And I had to run back up here. I've got to drain all my water systems, take down my hot water heater, empty about half the water out of my storage tank and stuff. But before I get to that, it is Friday night. And tomorrow, Saturday, I'm going to get up and I got to take down 3 or 4 trees. I've got to put a couple of runs up on the log cabin, and then we will start working on getting the cabin ready for winter. Incidentally, and I'll show you a quick clip of loading them up. But we took the four-wheelers home last time we were here, so it's going to be work getting those downed trees over to the new log cabin. So probably a little bit shorter than normal because I'm not going to film the redundancy of putting logs on the cabin, notching them out and all of that every single time. But I will show you some of the progress we make as we go. So hope you enjoy, and wow, what another beautiful fall weekend. Time to get some trail cams. Hopefully the lower one has better. I've already checked the top two and they didn't have much on them. So hopefully this lower trail will show me some good stuff. There's the camera. So what do we think exciting is going to be on here today? I hope something. Let's find out. Well, I'm down at the cliff, and what an amazing view this morning. And again, our property we call Oak Cliffs, and you can see why now. All this red oak, or I'm sorry, scrub oak, starting to change for fall. Well, it's so perfect out today. I'm gonna get a small fire going and just burn kind of scraps as I go throughout the day. So if any wind comes up, I'll immediately shut it down, cover it and stuff. But for now, I think I get a chance to burn some of these sticks. And I'll be honest with you, I'm gonna cheat when I start it and use propane. Hey. The easy way. I gotta show you this. Look at the mass of sap right here. Stuff is gonna burn black, but really, really well. So I'm gonna try to break it and throw it in so we get this portion of it burning. Well, to work on this big boy again, I'm not sure how well you can see it on here, but this is just full of big knots where the branches came out of the tree that I'm gonna have to trim down. But today we're gonna work on first getting these set in position, scribed real nicely, notched, dropped in. So I'll get this one, and on the other side there's another one ready to go. Then I'm gonna go back over there, and I've got 1, 2, 3, at least 3 good-sized trees, maybe 4, that are recently standing dead, so they're dried out pretty well. They died about a year ago. And I'm gonna see if I can't get another 4 logs put up yet today. So it's pretty early, it's 8 a.m. and done with breakfast, house is clean, did a bunch of tasks inside. Now I just got to get to work on this thing and get this up a bit higher. I'd like to, I've said this before and I'll say it again, I'd like to have a roof on it by the time snow flies, but we're already on the 11th or 12th, I think, of, it's the 12th of October. And last year, if you remember, it started snowing the last week of October, and that just shut me down for the year. So I got to get to work on this thing. I really think I only need to go maybe 3 or 4 rounds higher till I can put my roof on. It's not going to be probably 6-foot walls, and maybe 7, and then it'll have a 45-degree pitch on the roof, so a 12-12 roof. So snow goes off, but that'll give a lot of extra headroom inside. So I think that's the route I'm going to go with this. So I'll check back in as I get this thing set in place. So what I did here is I measured the gap here that I need this to drop down, and it was 4.5 inches. So I'm going to, I measured point to point on my little scriber here. And now what I can do is follow the log here and do the scribing. So I'm gonna work on that right now. And then when I'm done with the scribing on this end, I'll do it on the other end. Then I'll get her notched out, hatchet it up, and then smoothed out with my chainsaw. Keep it going. Well, I figure I'll work on this a little bit first. I got to get some bar oil on it, some fuel in it, and I got this handy dandy little tool. And what it is these have idle adjustments right back here, and they use a really weird kind of gnarled kind of nut or bolt almost, and you have to have a special tool to adjust it. So I'm going to see if I can't get this thing to run a little bit better, but it goes right in one of these 2 holes and it slips right over the adjustment nut. So we'll get the low end adjusted first, then we'll work on the high end, and hopefully we have a perfect day of chainsawing. Let's do this. All done. Not my best notch, but also not bad. And sealed up real nice all the way across. So moving on. Alrighty, 3 trees I need, because I have one over there that'll still work. I got this one, I got another one back there, and another one leaning back there. So we're gonna get 3 more trees out of here, and then we'll be able to start working on the cabin again. So this big boy, because of the lean it has, I'm gonna actually just back cut. I'm not even gonna bother with a notch. Last one right here. I got to cut this way at the bottom though, because it's gonna be tough to get 12 feet out of this. Limb these babies up, and we should have some luck again. That worked out. That one, perfect 12 feet to where it splits into two branches. This is going to be a 14er. And that one over there that I cut earlier is a 14-footer. And then I got another 14-footer in the pile. So I got my next 4 logs. So another round. Let's do this. We got them ready to take over to the peeling area. All right, now the question of the day. How do I get 14-foot logs? This one's close and I can probably roll it, but the other two that are up a little bit further, I got to figure out, not having a four-wheeler because I took them home last weekend, how to get them over here and stack. So this guy I'm going to roll. Stop! 'Cause 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 'c get my tool. Oh, the others are bigger and worse. Trying to catch my breath. That was a lot of work, but I got all 3 of those big logs down here. I might be done for the day. That really kind of tapped me, but I do have to chop a bunch of wood yet. Maybe that'll be tomorrow morning. And I would like to get some logs peeled, but I had completely gapped out not having the 4-wheelers here to do the hard work for me. So a little bit tired. Well, that's a lot of work. I got 2 more set. And remember, I cut down those 3 trees, but I peeled 4. So I got the next 2 set up on the 12-foot side. And then over here, got that big one peeled, got that big one peeled, and I need to get this next one to it peeled yet as well. So I'm calling it for the day tonight. I have elk burger. So I got all my elk back from the processor on Thursday. So I'm gonna have myself an amazing dinner tonight. So I'm going to sign off for now. I'll probably catch you around the fire as I'm cooking a little bit later, but I feel very productive today. That's a pound of burger that I'm going to eat like a steak. Yeah, I am. I'm right now getting the fire set, so it's going to be ready to put the grating on top. Be nice and hot for cooking. But what an amazing night. Well earned and deserved. That is a pound of elk, and I'm gonna eat the whole thing. Meat and potatoes. I'm a farm kid. It's just the way it is. So this is not a bad view to be looking at when you're having dinner.
Well, this is how I get to wake up in the morning. I'm sleeping up in the loft. That's Pike's Peak out there. And as I zoom all the way back out, this is me laying here, chilling out. Time to get the day started. 36 degrees Fahrenheit, which would be about 2 Celsius. Yeah, my timing was perfect on taking down the water system so we don't freeze up over winter. So we have some leftover sausage from yesterday and some eggs I'm trying to use up. So this is going to be breakfast this morning. Scrambled. Oh, and as always, in a lot of butter. No bacon this morning. I know that's kind of a staple of mine out here, but again, I got some sausage left over from yesterday. Let's eat it. Good morning. Let's talk about today. First thing I'm going to do to try to warm up a little bit is chop some wood.
what do they say? Chop wood, and you warm up twice, once when you chop it, once when you burn it. So I'm going to work on filling up the woodshed this morning. I got a big pile of logs I've been meaning to split here forever. And now we're getting cool enough out that we need to start worrying about things like that. By the way, aren't these aspen just absolutely incredible this time of year? There's the cabin back there. Anyway, we're going to work on that. Then we're going to winterize the cabin. We're going to drain all the water out and get the hot water heater taken down and drained as well. So it's going to be a busy morning, then try to get back home. My daughter's home from college right now, so I should hustle my buns back to see her as well. So we'll catch up at the end of today. So here's the woodshed currently, and I'm going to fill all this dirt. So a couple of rows. I've got 2 cords in there right now, and I want to get a third. Probably won't need it for the winter, but it's still nice to have that extra backup if need be. So this whole area right down here, I'm going to fill up. Okay, at very least, I want to get that pile done and all of this too, but this is going to require some cutting with the chainsaw because you can see some of them are really long, won't fit. So we're going to get started to work on that. And nothing like Colorado in the fall. All right, let's knock this pile out as quick as we can. Then we'll get the chainsaw out. We'll cut some of these longer ones up. I do not like these little nubs sticking off the side. I know that's a small piece of wood, but it's still a little bit big for our nothing like an 8-pound mold to take care of business. Throw a big pile over there, then I'll move it in. All right. See if you can hear it. There's an elk bugling up there. I guess he doesn't want to talk again. Sounded the same as last week. Along. All right, I got these 2 big ones up here, and I'll put these up here too to cut. Let's get this all ripped up. The old Husqvarna doing its job. Pile 1 done. Now, we're gonna end up with shadow. All right. Well, there's so far what I have cut up from that pile. So we're gonna cut this other one up, stack it there, see if we can get it all into the woodshed. All right, let's get started getting all this packed away in here. I'm gonna take the stuff that I think was probably the wettest and put it on bottom so it gets a chance to dry before burning. But all of this stuff was dead standing, basically. So it's been drying for maybe a year standing, but you know, got to get the bark off, let it dry out. So let's get this thing loaded up. Well, there we go. That should do it for the winter. I've got 3 stacks, huge ones now. And we would probably use 1.5 at most for the winter. So feeling good about that. All right, last job of the day. You can see I've unhooked the downspout from the tank and I have to crawl underneath there and unhook all of the water lines. And then over here, a little bit closer to the corners where the pump is and the drain for the inside of the house. So I've got to get all of that unhooked now, and we'll still come out here and bring water with us when we come up in the wintertime. And you've seen me shower a few episodes back outside in the snow. So we'll keep doing that, but let me get this taken care of. And I showed you last year everything that I went through when I was doing winter prep. So I'm not going to show it this year. Just know that I'm about to get it done and the cabin will be dry. Well, that wraps up another trip out here. You can see I got some work done out there on the log cabin, logs peeled, ready for next time we come out. Also, I know that we were working on getting this filled up, which it is also nice and filled up for us. And we'll spin around here, keep the cabin in the background. I did get the water systems drained. I take the pump out and I get that put away for the winter. I took my hot water heater out so we don't have the same fiasco as we did last year. So that's all done. I emptied my pea traps. So the cabin is now 100% dry. I did leave a bunch of food in the refrigerator. I don't think it's gonna get so cold that things would freeze inside there now. But I left some meat and hot dogs and things like that if I come out, and some condiments for those as well. So we're pretty much ready for winter. The only thing I still need to fully do is drain that tank. It's still probably 3/4 full, and I'd like to get it down to about half full before it freezes for the winter. But I still think we probably have a month till we get a good hard freeze. So man, I really appreciate everybody hanging with me this long today. So, you know, thank you for watching. And remember, get out there and do it yourself.